One love, everybody. Today we are here at One Love Sacred Center, and I have a young lady by the name of
V. Hi, hola.
Bless Up Always. She actually teaches Bowspring. It's a Primal Movement medicine. You know, I'd like for you to explain what is Bowspring to the whole world, if you can.
Yeah, well, it's something to be experienced in the body, and so through words it's a little more challenging, but essentially in Bowspring we move with the primordial pulse. So just like the heartbeat is always pulsing, when we bring the movement into a pulse, it can be very healing, very therapeutic. We work with a double S curve of the spine, so we work with a curvy, dynamic form of alignment instead of a linear stacked form of alignment. And we open up our hearts, our lung capacities, so that we can just be that much more powerful. And we basically create an even muscle tone throughout the entire muscular system, so that we end up feeling stronger, but also more lifted and more free and more elevated. And eventually it comes to a place of like an anti-gravity type feeling, where we're just floating and being held in our physical structure. What else? What have you noticed? Well, you've come to a few classes and we've done some
I was just about to say, so like every time I hit the gym, afterwards I'll take a class, you know. Every time I take it, my whole body feel relaxed, all my joints is released, you know, my spine get longer, you know, especially in my lower back area, the pain is gone. You know, I get into like this blissful state, you know, of awareness, and it put me at this, you know, relaxed state of mind. And it's great for me too when I go hit the gym and hit all the weights, you know, my body feel like achy, whatever. So all the pain would just release, and I'm just back to my true self. You know, I feel amazing, powerful.
Amazing,
you know?
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really a practice that's meant to be taken off of the mat and into everything you love to do, whether that's weight training or surfing or yoga or all the activities that you love, hiking, running. It's going to elevate your skill level and make life in general, the daily motions that we have to do through life, make it easier and more enjoyable. You know, I like to say we move from pain to pleasure. Not everybody has severe pain, but if you also want to just up-level your skill, this is about alignment and about ease and enjoyment. And do you find that you enjoy learning on your poses?
Heck yeah. You know, it's for my body is something different. It's taking me out of my comfort zone, and it helps me learn every angle, every point of my body. Like normally we think we're aware of our body, but with Primal Movement, you learn every point, like how to walk, how to, you know, align your posture. You know, it's amazing, you know, just doing it and just seeing the difference of how you grow. Even when I go, like she said, it enhances all your practices. Even when I go and hit the gym, I'll do maybe like some back shrugs, whatever. I focus more on my back. I'm able to target different points and focus on the muscles that I'm putting my intention on.
Right.
You know? So it's great.
That's awesome. That's another point about Bowspring, is we learn how to isolate different areas of the body so that then we can bring it all together and have the whole system working as a unified whole. So we learn, for example, to isolate the ribs and expand the ribs and really lead from the heart as a round sphere of light. And, you know, this enhances our ability to breathe, our ability to feel just that buoyancy, that lightness and everything that we do, rather than heavy and compressed and stressed.
Yes, indeed. So what brought you into Bowspring, the art of Bowspring?
Yeah, well, I have a yoga background, so I studied all kinds of different yoga and dance, and I went through a really traumatic experience where I ended up pretty heartbroken and didn't have much energy at all. I was still doing yoga, but I noticed that I had pains in my bodies, and then like also a lot of emotional pain, and I was seeking for a solution. And I found through a friend of mine, I was watching her body was transforming into like even more gorgeous than she already was. It was looking proportional. She was looking so strong. And she was able to do all kinds of things now that she couldn't do before. And so I asked her, like, what's up? What are you doing? Because she's a yoga teacher too. And she told me about this template, and I found someone close by, and I started learning. Within days, I had my back pain dissolve. Already so fast. And my wrists were injured and they started healing. I started to get muscle and tone in my legs that I never had before. Even with dancing and yoga, I didn't have really strong legs. And all different kinds of back pain started disappearing, and I started just feeling happier in my heart and lighter energetically. And so I kept going with it, kept studying, and my teacher said, "You're going to be a teacher." And I was like, no, at first I just wanted to study for me. I was like, I'm not going to be a teacher, this is just for my journey, right? Because I was really into healing. And then sure enough, I got hooked and fell in love with it. And now I get to teach people privately, I get to teach group classes, online, in person.
Well, I'm happy you're a teacher. You took that title because it's amazing. You know, I love it and it's relaxed my body. I love the difference. I'm a yoga practitioner. I do yoga as well. You know, but I do classes because it's different. You know, we go into the downward dogs, like you say, upward dogs. You know, with this, you focus precise on every point of your body. You know, that's why I take it and it's different for me. You know, it takes me out of that zone into something new. You know, and it helps me, the neurons in my brain too, to pay attention to cues he's saying and everything as well. Too.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, Will. It's also as much of a mind training, a mind focus training, and a consciousness training as it is for the body to light up all the muscle groups. And like you were saying, it's new, it's going to be a steep learning curve at first, but it's also really fun, and it kind of paradoxically brings you back to a primal state, a primal alignment that we actually had when we were children before we got put into desks. So we already had this form of alignment, this way of moving around that's really natural and free, and we're kind of realigning, reorganizing ourselves to get back into that. So instead of, like you mentioned, downward dog, we do crouching cat, and then and then we do like all these different kind of poses that have different associations maybe, so that we can sense into that primordial way of being. So we have a lot of fun too.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I've been learning a whole lot with this. You know, even with myself, I'm even more in tune with my body.
Yeah.
You know?
That's amazing. Those are so powerful, and that's actually what it's all about. It's for people to integrate, like what you're doing, integrate into your daily life, and all. It's not just a separate practice over there. You know, it's how we start to move and how it shapes us differently. I like to say the shapes we make shape our lives. And for me, like I said, I got rid of all my different back pain and any kind of discomfort and pain. Like I basically walk around like a bliss bunny all day. I'm just like blissing out, super enjoying regular movements and everything I want to do. It definitely boosted up my booty, so ladies, booty gains, big time booty gains, and also like lifted, rounded glutes. And so it's nice, it's a great bonus, but it's also physiologically helping the rest of the body not overwork and not over stress out, because that's the biggest muscle group that we have on our body. So I learned to like build in the right places and then sculpt in the right places and feel really powerful and grounded, like so rooted in my body, but also really light and uplifted and inspired. So that's what I'm getting out of it.
How about your heart? Does it open it up? Because every time I find like more joy in it, and I'm able to just go live my day-to-day life. Just like bliss, like don't give a F, whatever. I'm just in that zone. And I realize we do a lot of heart openers too. And you said it allow you to heal that heart. Don't you think it actually helped allow you to release all that storage, stagnant energy that was just sitting there?
Yeah, that's such a good point. Like a lot of when we go through hard times, a lot of our primal reaction is to contract, to protect ourselves, and we actually, because it's air inside of our ribcage, it's easily contracted because it's just air. So we can compress, and then we're holding emotion like heartbreak or whatever it is. And then we're learning to expand the ribcage on all sides, even the back heart. Where we don't pay attention, the ribs can actually move backwards. And that creates more space for lungs to intake more air. And then we have more energy, we have more lightness, and the emotions can flow. They can flow and release and get out. And then you have space, literal space, to fill up with light and happiness. And a lot of people, I noticed that after class, a lot of people are like really inspired and open and like want to connect and just be really like happy and out there after a yoga class, or Bowspring, but it is a type of yoga. So,
Okay, so one love. Anything else?
Thank you for this. Thanks so much for having me in this space.
One love. Here y'all have it. This is Mama V. You know, Primal Movement Medicine, Bowspring. You know, I recommend y'all hit her up. I'll share her information and all that. She's a wonderful teacher, and she's very, you know, gifted at her craft and what she do. You gotta have patience. With patience, you grow. Remember, a flower don't rush itself. It takes patience to elevate, you know? And once you develop that patience, you'll develop that bliss, you know? In order to find bliss, you must first have patience. That's why yoga, primal movement, and all these ancient movements that we do is important, y'all.